Amanda Waller, director of Cadmus, wakes up to do her usual morning routine and quickly checks the cameras to see if the perimeter is secure. After drinking her coffee, she calls her assistant to have her car ready and calls for a meeting of the division heads an hour early. When she takes a bath, Batman ambushes her, claiming that it's time they talked. Batman starts the conversation with information on Waller's life that he got from his investigation, but she claims to know his too. Batman threatens that they could reveal their secrets in public, to which he points out that the people would quickly get curious about her involvement with shady activities like developing secret weapons, illegal cloning experiments, and bypassing Congress, to name a few. When she asks what he wants, Batman insists on knowing what she plans on doing. Waller explains that for them to agree to their request to pardon Luthor, Superman was forced to tell them about their encounter with the parallel universe. She worries that they would take the same actions that the Justice Lords did, so she had her people run simulations if the Justice League ever went rogue. Waller claims that they'd lose against the Justice League in every scenario, but that is all in the past, for they now have the Cadmus Project to defend themselves. Batman warns her that if she presents a threat to the people, the Justice League will come to stop her. Waller argues that the Justice League is the threat, having the Watchtower orbit in space with its laser weapon pointed at Earth, while in another dimension, the Justice Lords, alternate versions of the Justice League, assassinated the president and overthrew the government. Waller insists they're the good guys protecting the people from the threat, and she makes it very clear that the League is the enemy. Back at the Watchtower, Flash grows impatient for staying behind when they should be leading the evacuation at San Baquero with a soon-to-erupt volcano. Wonder Woman claims they'll soon join the advance team once she hears what Batman discovered. Batman states that Cadmus is developing weapons specifically to fight them, to which Martian Manhunter claims they're worried the League has become too powerful. Batman confirms that Cadmus was responsible for the Ultiman and the Supergirl clone. Flash wonders why they are so concerned when they will never overthrow the government, but Batman argues that their alternate selves, the Justice Lords, did. Superman claims that he has seen the federal budget and found no funding for a Cadmus project, so he wonders where the money comes from. The others quickly assume that it must have been Lex Luthor funding the project, to which Batman claims he has put Question to investigate and obtain evidence. When the others disapprove, Batman explains that Question may be too passionate in his work, but if anyone can find the hidden link between Luthor and Cadmus, he's the man. Meanwhile, Waller leads the discussion during the department heads' meeting. Chief Scientist Professor Hamilton states that Galatea, the Supergirl clone, will fully recover soon and return to active duty. When she asks about the Doomsday weapon, Hamilton claims that cellular regeneration has been remarkable, considering the damage done to its frontal lobe. Tala, a powerful sorceress and the head of the magical and mystical projects, claims they'd need additional resources to retrieve the armor. Waller asks Dr. Milo, known for his specialty in splicing human and animal DNA, for updates, which he explains is close to getting results. He states that Dr. Langstrom's research has proven helpful in his experiments. When he cannot provide results, Waller quickly orders to pull the funding from his department and confiscates the confidential research he has been doing. In the meantime, they will have him placed in a non-vital position and revoked his clearances. Dr. Milo returns to his lab after he is dismissed from the meeting, where he has Doomsday strapped to machines. Milo confronts Doomsday, who was faking to be unresponsive, claiming to know that the lobotomized portion of his brain has already fully grown. He asks him if he remembers anything, but Milo tells him anyway when Doomsday doesn't respond. He claims that Doomsday was created from a sample of Superman's genetic material, but his DNA was altered to ensure that he is superior to him. He was later conditioned to hate Superman, humiliated and repeatedly imprinted by none other than Amanda Waller and Professor Hamilton. When he became uncontrollable, Cadmus tried to dispose of him by locking him up inside a rocket and shooting him into space. En route, Doomsday breaks free, and his hammering forces the missile to go off course and return to Earth. When he landed, he was confronted by a different Superman from a parallel universe, which lobotomized him. When Doomsday rekindles his hatred towards Superman, Milo redirects it to Waller and Hamilton, who used and betrayed him, just like they did to Milo. Hoping he would avenge him, Milo freed Doomsday from his restraints but was surprised when he turned on him. Doomsday broke out, and not even Cadmus agents and their weapons worked on him. Waller suspects that it must be Milo's doing, but when she claims she will have him executed, the soldier who reported claims that Doomsday had beaten her to it, having found Milo dead. Meanwhile, the Justice League rushes out to help evacuation efforts on the island, with the volcano erupting at any time. Flash states that their radios are barely working, so he is forced to run around and send messages to everyone. Wonder Woman suspects the electromagnetic interference from the volcano causes it. She tries to contact Superman, who went inside the volcano to handle it, but Superman claims that the comms are dropping in and out depending on where he is. While the others are busy with the evacuation, Superman tries to release the pressure on the volcano by diverting the lava and digging tunnels around the central core. Superman worries that he could just as quickly set it off, so he tries to do it slowly and carefully. Out of nowhere, Doomsday shows up inside the volcano and pushes Superman against the wall. He pins Superman down against the lava and punches him, but Superman kicks him away. Superman then breaks off a giant piece of the wall to collapse on Doomsday, but it is ineffective, so he throws it at Superman. When he dodges, Doomsday pounces on him and targets his eyes, which he remembers from the time he was lobotomized. Superman pushes him back and tries to explain that he wasn't the one who hurt him, but Doomsday argues that Superman is Superman. Wonder Woman checks in on Superman, and when she hears him struggling over the comms, she wants to run off to help, but Superman tells her to focus on the evacuation. Meanwhile, General Eiling tracks the stolen pod in San Baquero and suspects Doomsday must have gone after Superman. Waller worries that he will quickly turn against the people once he is done with Superman. She orders him to have it handled, to which he activates Operation Firewall to have a U.S. submarine indiscriminately fire a nuclear missile on Doomsday's location. While Batman and Martian Manhunter provide support from the Watchtower, they are quickly alerted when a nuclear missile is headed for the island. Batman worries that the warhead is lined with kryptonite based on the spectrograph. Martian Manhunter explains that they cannot fire the Watchtower's laser, as the missile is moving too fast for them to target it. Batman calls Waller on the President's direct line and orders her to stand down, but Waller is just as surprised as he is. He then warns her that should anyone die on the island, he will be coming for her. As soon as she gets off the phone, Waller storms out looking for Eiling, furious at him for going behind her back. Martian Manhunter informs him that Captain Atom is flying to intercept it, but Batman worries he won't make it and quickly runs to the hangar to make an emergency drop toward Earth. Martian Manhunter warns him that he is going too fast, but Batman explains that he could intercept the missile if he uses the Earth's gravity to accelerate him. However, Martian Manhunter worries he would quickly burn up on re-entry. Waller confronts Eiling, worried that his actions will kill Superman and the people around him. Eiling explains that they had to sanction Doomsday, and at least this way, they'd also get Superman and stop the drug traffic in San Baquero. Despite what he says, Waller demands he call it off, but Eiling claims that the safety is already off, which he couldn't stop, even if he wanted to. Batman later catches up to the missile fast approaching the island. Meanwhile, Superman and Doomsday emerge after an intense brawl inside the volcano. Martian Manhunter warns the others of the incoming missile headed for the island. Wonder Woman tells Flash to supervise the evacuation while she heads back for Superman. Batman fires on the nuclear missile, but it deflects his missiles with repulsors. Martian Manhunter claims that the only way to get through it is with Javelin. He suggests Batman use an opposing charge on the ship's hull to draw it to his ship and force it to change directions. Batman then ejects in an escape pod seconds before the nuclear missile blows up in the middle of the ocean. The evacuation is completed before the waves reach the shore, and the transport ships are on their way. Worn down from the fighting, Superman tries to fight back and attacks Doomsday with his heat vision, but it is ineffective, having taken precautions after the last time. Superman stands back up and beats up Doomsday before throwing him back into the smoldering lava, which the volcano erupts later. Superman falls down on his knees, exhausted from battle. When the lava is about to reach him, Wonder Woman arrives and pulls Superman to safety. At the Watchtower, they bring back Doomsday encased in hardened lava. Martian Manhunter claims that he is unable to read his mind. Superman explains that he was created at Cadmus to destroy him, but Doomsday refuses to listen and claims he will one day break free and kill him. Realizing that they couldn't convince him otherwise, Superman takes out a device to send Doomsday into the Phantom Zone, where he won't get hurt and can't hurt people. Batman was displeased with Superman's decision to send Doomsday to the Phantom Zone. He states they are becoming just like the Justice Lords, passing judgment on others with their superpowered army and an orbiting death ray. He claims Cadmus was right to be scared for the human race, for they wouldn't stand a chance if the League ever went rogue. Superman argues that it wouldn't get to that, claiming that it isn't in their nature and that nothing will change it. Batman worries that should Luthor become president, they'd quickly turn into the Justice Lords as they did in the parallel universe. Superman jokes that he could always deal with him with the kryptonite he keeps carrying, but Batman brushes it off and asks him to take it seriously. Superman and Wonder Woman leave, claiming that Batman needs to rest, but he is wary of what the future brings. Thank you for watching. Check out these other videos, and make sure to subscribe and tap the bell to be notified about our latest videos. See you next time.